G13 live at 10.
Columbia police remain tight-lipped in the ongoing investigation of the homicide death of a University of Missouri administrator. On Wednesday, police arrived at Hundle's house on the 4800 block of Marble Cedars Drive in Columbia to conduct a wellness check. Police say 52-year-old Hundle suffered a gunshot wound and found factors on the scene, quote, that suggested a suspicious death. Now, 2 days later, the house is still taped off. And this morning, investigators were inside Hundle's garage looking at the victim's car. Not much else is known, but on social media, tributes have poured in for the Mizzou assistant to the chancellor and dean of the School of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. Dean Christopher Daubert called him a beloved friend and colleague, adding that Hundle, quote, passed away unexpectedly late Tuesday evening or early Wednesday morning. And Mizzou's Theta chapter of Alpha Gamma Rho, an agricultural fraternity, says Hundle was the chapter advisor in a Facebook tribute. They say Hundle was, quote, dedicated to our chapter and was willing to do anything for any of our undergraduates or alumni, calling his death, quote, a very tough loss for our chapter. The city of Columbia is removing its public mask requirement. Starting Monday, masks will no longer be required, but strongly recommended. The city began requiring masks in city-owned facilities in early August. Masks will still be required in transportation hubs like the airport and the Wabash bus station, as well as healthcare facilities such as the Columbia Boone County Health Department building on Worley Street. In a news release, the city recommended people to get vaccinated as soon as possible, stay home when sick, and wash their hands often.
The better part of this Friday was cool, kind of dreary with plenty of cloud cover, though right about the time the sun set tonight, skies cleared. There's a live look from our Scruggs Lumber Skycam in Jefferson City. A temperature right now of 50 degrees. Won't be too long until we're falling back into the 40s at the state capitol. Take a look at our temperature change compared to 24 hours ago at this time. We are anywhere from about 10 to close to 20 degrees cooler in a lot of spots. Where does that put our temperatures? In the 40s and 50s. It is 48 degrees in Columbia, same with Fulton. We're checking in at 45 in Versailles, right at 50 in Sedalia, upper 40s in Marshall. So bundle up as you're headed out tonight. There's the last of that storm system clearing towards the east. We have low dew points, clear skies, a cold front that passed through. That is a recipe for a cold night ahead. We're down to 41 and a northwest wind at 6 miles per hour playing somewhat of a role in our wind chill tonight. We're going to take a look at just how cold temperatures get and a warm up ahead in just a few minutes.
According to new consumer inflation data, prices for food have risen 4.5% over the past 12 months. The largest increase over the past year has been the index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs, which has risen 10.5%, and beef in particular has risen nearly 18%. The communications director of Missouri Rural Crisis Center, Tim Gibbons, says the increase in food prices is not an increase in prices paid to farmers. He says independent cattle producers are not making money on the cattle they're selling. They're actually losing a little bit of money. So where exactly is the money consumers are paying going?
The corporate agribusiness and the big multinational corporate and foreign meatpacking industry at the expense of farmers and at the expense of consumers and at the expense of our economy.
Gibbons says the best way for consumers to try and beat inflation costs on meat is to shop locally and know your farmer.